Hi, it's T. Michelle Birdseye in New York City. This is part 2 of Dr. Joe Dispenza's leader of a death cult. Although I do talk about more things than that. I let my writing drift into what it wants to write about. So, Dr. Joe said he told his children. This is doing an interview with Lou Howes, or was it Howes? Anyway, listen to part 1 and you'll see the name of the original video that I'm talking about. Okay, so Dr. Joe told the guy that he told his children, if you can figure this out early on, the rest of your life is going to be magical. Magical. M for magic, A for A, G for God, I for pleasure, C for consciousness. Magic, a God, pleasure, consciousness. Magic or God, pleasure, consciousness without the prerequisite work. They never ask themselves, what is the consequence of magic? Answer, you have to pay for the unintended consequences. Dr. Joe said, I set up conditions so my children could work in their lives. Now they understand how these principles work. So Dr. Joe will have to reap the pain of his children's karma. Do them. Did he really believe there was no responsibility for what one does? BibleGateway.com passage. Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 7 to 9. King James Version of the Bible. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to the flesh shall the flesh reap corruption. He takes on the soweth means he takes on the deeds of the flesh that he healed magically. He reaps corruption. What Jesus does is not magic because he has the power of God to do. Because he knows, N for enter, O for order, sun, energy, knows, enter the order, the sun of the sun, energy. Okay, so Jesus is working with the sun's energy. He is the son of the sun. Let's see. So he knows what he is doing. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. John chapter 4, verse 24, King James Version of the Bible. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. What does that mean? Verse 25, the woman saith unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, He will tell us all this, all things. He will tell us all things. Okay, and verse 26. Jesus said unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. See, that's what he's saying. He's Jesus Christ. He's the Son of the Son. He's the Son of God. Jesus Christ being as Charan sing, I worship him in spirit and in truth. I saw him being as Gorinda Singh Dylan. I saw him enter. I saw his spirit form, which looked just like his physical form, enter Gorinda Singh. Okay, this is a song lyric I wrote. Most greats make mistakes. Was Jesus Christ perfect? He let us see he doubted his Father. He saved the world. The small stuff, why bother? He was murdered, left wife Mary Magdalene, a crying, widowed girl. Was Martin Luther King Jr. a perfect man? Of course not. But he gave black Americans better lives if they wanted it. I, for one, can overlook his being human. He was murdered because he strived. Are you perfect? Are you great? Are your children grateful? Them you did create? Just because a great person made mistakes doesn't make him or her any less great. That line was given to me by Jesus Christ when he was alive. Was Abraham Lincoln perfect? Of course not. Never said he was. He waged a war to save the Union and blacks from slavery. Those who harshly judge him and other greats are the ones who are ungrateful and unsavory. Lincoln was murdered because he saved the United States, without which, where would we all be today? You know you don't want to go anywhere else. That's why you didn't go anywhere else. That's why you're still here. There's no place better. Was explorer Christopher Columbus perfect? Of course not. You don't have to be perfect to be great. Not all who made mistakes are greats, including you and me and our mates. Explorer Christopher Columbus completed 1, not 2 and 3, but 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. He discovered a route to the Americas, North and South America. Then it was unknown to the Old World. The Old World was Africa, Asia, and Europe, 6 billion people. Columbus connected the world. That makes him great. Can we appreciate these and other people? We owe the lives we get to live because of them. Jesus Christ, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., parents, wives, Abraham Lincoln, explorer Christopher Columbus. Just because a great person made mistakes doesn't make him or her any less great. Most greats make mistakes. That doesn't make him or her any less great. It's cool you get to be against wars, but had we lost World War II, we'd be slaves like the robots Japanese made, and slaves of Nazis too. Japanese make robots now. They were going to make us into robots if we had lost the war. Albert Einstein caused us to have the appropriate weapon. Supreme Commander Allied Forces in Western Europe, General Dwight David Eisenhower, said the massive invasion of Eisenhower led the massive invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe that began on D-Day, June 6, 1944. June 6th birthday of explorer Christopher Columbus, now being as Melanie Lynn Spear, daughter of Marilyn Monroe. President Harry S. Truman implemented the Marshall Plan to rebuild the economy of Western Europe. Truman did the Truman Doctrine, American foreign policy, whose stated purpose was to counter Soviet aggression, Soviet geopolitical expansion during the Cold War. And Truman did the tough, realistic thinking required to decide to kill 180,000 Japanese armed and prepared to die. Even children had forks to stab the American soldiers rather than surrender. Truman decided to bomb 180,000 Japanese armed to the teeth to prevent the death of 70 million Japanese and Americans who would die had the Japanese been allowed to continue fighting to the death. The Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Americans didn't first bomb Japan. Thank God those great leaders did what they had to do to save our people, our friends, and our lands. Ruth in the Bible is now being as Queen Elizabeth II. Her reward for being loyal to her mother-in-law, though her husband had died, was to get the crown. You see that? So Jesus Christ, being as supreme commander, Allied forces in Western Europe, Gwyndolin Dillon saved Queen Elizabeth's continent. And President Franklin Roosevelt's projection of Jesus Christ as Charon Singh rebuilt Ruth being as Queen Elizabeth's continent. In the King James Version of the Bible, the text reads, "If ye then, being evil, vile," see, V-I-L-E, show you what I'm doing. V-I-L-E spells vile. That's what evil is. Okay. Being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children. George Soros knows how to give good gifts to Antifa and other organizations like that. How much more shall you, your Father, which is in heaven, give good things to them that ask him? Matthew 7:11. I think that's when my son Birdsong was born, 7:11. He was, or else no, he weighed 7:11. No, I think he was born 7/11. It's one of the two. Christ's wife Mary Magdalene, and also Birdsong has been as President Harry S. Truman. Christ's wife Mary Magdalene and Queen Elizabeth are great women. They are great women. They have wombs in their bodies, so I call them women. Though few words of praise has been written. Did Jesus have any children? The 2007 document. Now this is Jesus Christ being as Gwyndolin Dillon, okay? The 2007 documentary, The Last Tomb of Jesus, proposed the evidence existed to show that Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene and that their son was named Judah, based upon inscription found in ossuaries discovered in Jerusalem in 1980. Biblical scholar and author James Tabor has affirmed his belief in a married Jesus. I accept into my being as married to Jesus Christ as being my reality. Mary Magdalene was a Jewish woman, but original Jews are American blacks. So Mary Magdalene was a black woman who, according to the four canonical Gospels, traveled with Jesus as one of his followers, his wife. Note, Mrs. King was a follower of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and was a witness to his, Mary Magdalene was a witness to his crucifixion, burial, and resurrection. Note, I was a witness in 2013 or 2014 of Jesus Christ being as Charan Singh sitting on a bench attending to Gurinder Singh Dillon giving his discourse, his talk. Megan Harris, Secretary of New York, Sangat, had gone to India when Jesus Christ being as Charan Singh had been cremated. But there he sat, looking the same as I remembered seeing him in 1979. I have never been one to experience hallucinations. I saw a picture of an Easter lily on my piano, or it might have been a table. That's when I realized I had been a witness again to my husband, Jesus Christ's resurrection in Petaluma, California. Okay, I hope you find this interesting. I know it's a lot of new information, but I hope I provided the proof. Okay, thank you for watching my video.